Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into something critical. I mean, truly a lifeline in hospital safety. Cardiac monitoring communication.
Exactly. We're talking about that split-second conversation between the telemetry tech watching the monitors and the nurse right there at the patient's bedside.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little. If a patient's heart rhythm suddenly goes critical, their safety really just hinges on one thing.
How fast and how clearly that tech can get the message across.
Right. So we've looked at sources that analyze everything from, procedural failures to the tech itself. So what's our mission for you today in this deep dive?
Our mission is to really zoom in on the specific strategies and the tools that let cardiac monitor techs do more than just spot danger.
More than just seeing a blip on a screen.
Yes, it's about communicating that danger so effectively that they immediately improve patient safety and help the bedside staff know what to do next. We're looking for the fastest route to certainty.
So let's start with the tools then. You mentioned a study that compared some, let's be honest, pretty old school tech.
Oh, very old school. One-way alphanumeric pagers. It compared those against modern bidirectional voice communication badges.
Right.
And this isn't just a matter of preference.
No, the failure rates you see with pagers are.
Well, they're truly alarming.
They are.
So with those one-way pagers, the median time for the tech to even make first contact was 1.6 minutes.
Which is a long time in a cardiac event.
It's an eternity.
Yeah.
But here's the real kicker. Communication loop closure.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the confirmation that the nurse actually got and understood the message.
Mm-hmm.
That only happened 19% of the time.
Wow. So an 81% chance the message was just lost in the ether.
Basically, yes. An 81% chance it was dropped, misunderstood, or just never confirmed. It's a huge failure.
And that failure rate is exactly why the device matters so much. When they switched to the bidirectional voice badge, that median time to first contact was slashed. It went down to just 0.5 minutes.
Okay, so a full minute faster.
And more importantly, it achieved 100% communication loop closure.
Every single time. Every time. That immediate two-way verbal exchange, it acts as a kind of forced function. You hear the nurse confirm it right then and there. It eliminates all those extra steps, the callbacks.
All the uncertainty.
Exactly. It cut the average number of attempts to complete the alarm from over 2 down to just over 1.
So we've established the tech needs to be immediate, two-way, verbal. But once that link is open, it's not just about the speed, right? It's about what you say.
Precisely. The structure of the message is just as vital. Studies show that communication breakdowns account for something like 21% of all telemetry-related adverse events.
So 1/5 of all problems.
Yes. And it's often not a failure to see the alarm. It's a failure to hand off the information clearly.
And that's where something like a standardized protocol comes in.
This is where SBAR becomes really non-negotiable. Situation, background, assessment, recommendation.
SBR. It
Yeah.
sounds like a simple framework, but it essentially transforms raw data into actionable intelligence for the nurse.
It does. It gives the monitor tech a really concrete 4-part structure. So first, you state the patient's identity and the critical rhythm. That's the situation.
Right.
Then you give some history, maybe relevant meds. That's the background. Then your own professional interpretation of what you're seeing, the assessment. And finally, you suggest a course of action, the recommendation.
And that structured approach has a real measurable impact.
Oh, a huge impact. One study showed that when techs use this kind of context-rich handoff over the voice tech, nurses could prioritize their work so much better.
How so?
It actually reduced the need for them to rush into the room immediately in 39% of level 1 or level 2 alarms.
And just for context here, those level 1 and 2 alarms are often the really frequent, sometimes less dangerous alerts that,
Yeah.
well, they cause so much alarm fatigue.
The sensory overload.
Right. So a tech providing clear context is actually helping the nurse filter out the noise and focus on the real emergencies. It improves the whole workflow.
So what does this all mean for patient safety? It's this combination, right? The instant confirmed voice communication plus the rich context from a protocol like SBAR.
That combo is probably the most powerful defense a hospital has against human error and that alarm fatigue we were just talking about. The tech's skill in that handoff it's paramount.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, your defense against a catastrophic event comes down to 2 things. Using the right bidirectional voice technology, and then making sure every single tech has rigorous training in these communication techniques.
That human interaction is the buffer.
It's the primary buffer between an alarm and a disaster.
Yes. And on that note, because we know how vital these skills are for patient care, we wanted to let you know Whole Life Healthcare is currently offering specialized training programs for this. They focus specifically on communication and advanced rhythm interpretation for any cardiac monitor techs out there looking to really sharpen these clinical skills. You can find out more on their website.
So we've talked a lot about current best practices, but I want to leave you with one final thought to consider for the future.
Okay.
Machine learning can now detect false VTach alarms with over 97% accuracy. So, as technology gets better at filtering out the noise, the human tech's job might shift entirely, away from constant monitoring and purely into critical response and that contextual communication we've been talking about.
So my question for you to think about is this. What level of indispensable human judgment will always be necessary to translate that data into immediate life-saving action?